Okay, so we are doing off the mat Winnie the Pooh. To start off, we're going to upload an outline of Winnie the Pooh. You could just find one on Google, which is what I did. I'm going to start off by selecting it all, changing the height to 30, and it will automatically change the width. And then I'm going to zoom out so I can see the whole image and what we are working with. The height, you can make it whatever you want, 29, 26, whatever works for you. What I'm going to start doing is duplicating Winnie the Pooh, and then I'm going to go to contour. I'm going to push hide out contours, and it's going to just leave the first one, which is going to give you the whole outline of Winnie the Pooh. Then I'm going to duplicate Winnie the Pooh several times and do this to each the face, the shirt, the arms, the belly, and the feet. So as you can see, I'm selecting the face, all the things I want to keep. So then that's going to give me the face. Then I'm going to go to color and change it to yellow just so I can have an idea of what it is I'm working with and what I need to do. So again, duplicate the outline and contour. I'm going to contour the shirt next. And make sure you always select the first image, because if not, it's going to give you the whole outline plus whatever it is you're selecting. Then I go to contour and then I select the shirt, which is what I want to. Then I'm going to exit and it's going to give me the shirt. I'm going to go to color, change it to red. And then again, select Winnie the Pooh, duplicate and contour and do the next part. So when I do this, I try to imagine if, like for the example right here, the hand and the belly, I feel like if I were to select both of them, they'd be way too big and I would have to slice them even more. So for this, I just selected the belly, and then I'm going to do the two hands separately so it's easier when cutting through the machine. So I am doing now the foot. These two I could make them together because they're not too far apart. As you can see on this, I didn't select the first one, which was the whole outline, so give me the whole outline and the feet. So then I'm going back to contour and selecting the first one, so then it just gives me the feet by itself. And lastly, I'm going to go and duplicate 2 more times to do the arms. So hide all contours, select the arm. And I forgot to select the first one again, as you can see. So I go back and select the first one to get rid of the whole outline. And then it gives me the arm. I'm going to switch it to yellow. And one last time to the last arm. Okay, and I'm getting rid of the outline now. I'm going to place Winnie the Pooh all over the outline to make sure that I did all the parts that I needed and everything is fine. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to move this around to slice the whole image. This is just like a visual to make sure you are not missing like a leg or an arm or like something valuable. So as you can see, I have everything that I need. It looks good. So what I'm going to do is start moving all of the parts to the left or right, anything, because I'm going to focus on the black outline. So since the material that I have is really big, I'm going to do an off the mat 12 by 24. However, you could also do a mat 12 by 12. So what I'm going to do is insert the square, then I'm going to change the width to 11.5 and the height to 23, since I am using the 12 by 24. If you were doing just 12 by 12 and using cardstock, you could do 11.5 times 11.5. So what I did is I switched the color of the rectangle to purple just so it could differentiate from the black. I'm going to select the square in the outline and hit slice. Then I'm going to get rid of all the purples that I have. So click on them, delete, and you're just going to stay with the black. And as you can see, it sliced the whole thing. So when you cut it, it's going to slice just like that. So go back and place it on top. You could arrange the outline and cut it however you see as necessary. I didn't want to have too many lines to line up, so this is what I did. However, I would recommend using 12 by 12. I believe it'll be like neater, because for me it was a little bit hard to line it up, especially with some tiny feet, as you can see between the legs. That was really hard to line up. So I ended up not needing those extra ones, since as you can see, that one, the belly was like 12 by 10, so it'd be able to fit in the 12 by 24 mat. All of them, I'm checking the size to see if they will all fit, and it does. So I go to make it, and it's going to place all of them in the mat. Click OK, because you are doing an off the mat. And it's just letting you know that your images are really big. This one, I don't know why I did that, but I just arranged it. And since the material I am using is from Michaels, it's like this huge roll. The material is really, really thin. So I used the washi sheet setting, and I put the pressure to less because it is very, very thin. And as you can see, this is how it's going to be able to cut them. All of the blacks, the shirt, and then the yellows for the body. So the material is going to change. If you use cardstock, obviously then change it to cardstock. I would recommend using cardstock. I didn't really like this material. As you can see, this is what I use from Michaels. It is budget friendly. I believe it was like $10 for each. However, there was a 20% off coupon, so I used it for each one of them, and it ended up being really cheap. But however, if I were to do this again, I'd probably get cardstock, because it was kind of really hard to work with this material since it was so thin. So I had to cut from the big roll, place it on the sheet. Then I went on to make it. I started by removing everything I didn't need. Then I weeded what was necessary. And then from then on, I just took them off of the mat and I separated them before I started to add it to the mat. So I did it for the red and the black. I used this board that I got from an art class. It was on the other side, you could like draw on it or paint or anything. That's what I used, and the height of Winnie the Pooh ended up matching it perfectly. So what I started to do was place the black there's my cat. The black outline. I used double-sided tape on the back to place it on the poster board, and I just made sure to line up everything as best I could. Ignore my dirty hands. I was painting before this. And then I just laid it all down, and I did make some mistakes, like with the lining up, which kind of messed me up, but you just kind of have to work with what you got, and you learn literally by doing. So from this on, like, I learned from my mistakes. I won't be able to do this again. Once you finish with the black outline, just make sure all the edges stay down. If you don't match like perfectly, it's fine, because you're still going to layer the red and the yellow on top. So as long as everything is smooth, you'll be fine. So then what I started using was glue, just to see if it would be easier to place down. It was nice because I was able to move the image a little bit, but it was still a lot of work. I feel like if I would have had like easier, like double-sided tape, it would definitely help. So if you have that, I would recommend using that, especially like those big machines that you could just roll on it. Or I think if I were to do this again, I'd probably have one of those spray bottles that are like for like spray glue, especially since this material is super thin. I feel like it would help it a lot. So then I started doing the glue with the red and then the rest of the body. It's pretty self-explanatory from now on. It's just kind of tedious to do it. There's my little helper. He's super curious. And of course he decided to sit in the middle. So what I did do is I did mess up on the angle of the shirt. Or actually, I think I messed up on Winnie the Pooh's face. It should have been a little bit more up, which kind of messed all the rest of the things down. But I just tried to place everything as best I could. I did end up having to cut the belly a little bit so it would have that nice black outline around it because I did mess up on the face. So when you like do this, you'll kind of see what you're doing wrong, and you kind of have to improvise what to do. So that's what I did. I just kind of cut around the belly, and it didn't look weird at all. I just had to get rid of the red shirt and like reprint it or recut it and then place it again. So here I am, and here's my other kitty. He's super curious too. Both of them. And this is why I mess up. They're super cute, I don't mind. So just finish it all up. And then after this, after you glue it all down, I just use some scissors to go around the whole outline just to get Winnie the Pooh by itself. So like I said, this material I wouldn't recommend. You do get a lot for your money, but it's just way harder to work with than if you had a cardstock. So if you do this, I would recommend doing cardstock, but like at least throughout this video you have an idea of what you need to do to get off the mat. And here is the final product. I actually end up liking how it looked. It looks better from far. Thank you for watching.